If you're wondering why I'm in the pink shirt, it's for the magazine we're doing. We went pink for October for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Nice.
And we just had a shoot actually called Real Black Men Wear Pink. So we had 16 different black men from walks of life to help promote it because we wanted to change the narrative since so many women fight for us and black women actually have a 40% mortality rate when it comes to breast cancer if they get diagnosed too late. And over the age of 50, it doubles basically.
Now, you know what? That's significant too, man, because I also advocate for the Lupus Foundation and we wear purple. You know what I mean? So, you know, yeah. So, so I'm definitely aware and, you know, Slim as well, you know, aware, man. So, you know, what you're doing is great things, man, and we applaud you for it.
Oh, no, thank you so much. And also for you, I know you had the recovery from what you would call the coronavirus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
yeah, it was real. It was something real. And I will say to all those naysayers and those non-believers, it's real, and you should definitely wear a mask. Slim and I, you know, everybody here have been, you know, thermometer tested and the whole nine and whatnot, man. So, but yeah, we do have our mask, and you know, but it's kind of hard for us to have an interview with you without it. So, but, you know, we practice, man. So, yeah, just and that's on our website too. We'll get into all that, you know, later on, man. But the shameless plug. But yeah, it was something that you know, that was really serious. It was a very difficult time for, you know, for myself. And I believe Slim might even had it without even having a diagnosis, you know, a while ago, man. So, Abraham, what do you, bro?
Sorry, I need to switch phones.
You know, with Black SD Magazine, one thing in the entrepreneur community in San Diego, but it's really about the creatives because they really get, you know, neglected. People, you know, with my creative director, we focus on also the musicians, the dancers, the painters, the artists, just because, you know, people don't really look at them. When we talk about supporting Black businesses, we only support if you have a storefront or an online store, but what about creatives? You know, how do we make sure that they're geared a certain way? So we also have a 3-month free program called Catalyst Black, where we take them through business development all the way to securing them funding. So that's one of our biggest initiatives with the magazine and the platform.
Nice. That's right, bro. You know, and we appreciate that because so many times, man, we're like, for example, the APS, the Atlanta Public School System, you know, we don't have the arts anymore. You know what I mean? Like, there's no music, there's no creative, there's none of that anymore, man. So, you know, we have to do something about that, man. And so anytime we have an initiative that is willing to, you know, bring the arts back into the forefront, you know, that it's always a great thing. And 112, you know, we endorse that.
No, definitely. And one thing is they don't know how to monetize it, you know, so they don't know how to monetize their skills early. You know, usually they get taken advantage of so late in the game. So we want to make sure they understand how to really brand themselves. You know, I have one artist he does painting, he does chalk art, he does murals, but he also does music. And, you know, we redeveloped his whole strategy on how he can monetize different parts of it because nowadays you have to be so laser focused and clear, and you have to understand how you pitch. So when I train them, I say, look, sometimes you have one moment to talk to someone and sell them on what you provide, and you may not have that again. So I tell them I make black sharks all the time. So that's what I do.
Right.
But let me get into you guys, though. Let me get into you. So, you know, you're coming back with, you know, your new single with Spin It All. I know it's about, like, you know, really giving women what they need, you know, really treating them like the queens. Do you feel that's something that's lost right now in R&B?
Well, I would definitely say that a lot of people, like a lot of the new artists, crave to have that 90s sound. Yeah. And, you know, a lot of the things that went with the 90s, that whole 90s music and the movement was how we spoke to women, the way we spoke of the same subjects that everybody's doing the same thing, but it was just the way we did it. So we really put a lot of effort in doing a whole project where, you know, we challenged ourselves, where, you know, you don't have to use like derogatory statements or words or even phrases or anything. I don't think we even had a curse word. We don't have anything. This album right here went to the true essence of like when albums were put together and they were just like the substance of what the record actually is. No type of extra adjectives and all the fireworks and all that stuff. That's what I'm saying. So that's right.
No, and I love that about you guys because, you know, when you look at your songs, if you go Peaches and Cream anywhere, you know what I mean? it's you guys are telling a story without having to like just shock people. And right now it's all about that shock value. And I was just talking to a friend that said, 90s music, because everybody's talking about WAP and all these things. And someone mentioned Adina Howard. I said, but if you listen to her lyrics when she comes out, that's a conversation you could have between friends. What you guys are saying in your music back in the 90s, I could sit down and literally recite the lyrics and it could just be a conversation flowing. But right now it's like, you wouldn't just say certain things in like, if I sat down with you guys for lunch, it would be you would give me a side eye if I said certain things out loud, So.
Right. Right. That's right, man. Substance over shock, man. That's what 112 is.
Exactly. And talking about it coming from that past of, just platinum, double platinum, that early success. How was that? Like, did you like manifest that success? Did you know we're going to start this group? Mike said we're going to do this. You guys have been friends since since you were 14 or something.
Right.
So did you guys know you would get to that level?
Well, man, here's the thing, man. To think, and this is no hubris or arrogance or conceit or anything like that, man. But to think otherwise would mean that we didn't expect excellence. You know what I mean? We always expected to be excellent at what we did. Like, so when people asked us, do y'all plan on going platinum? Like, what do you mean? Are we planning on going platinum? Of course we are. You know what I mean? Yeah, diamond. Like our goal is to go get to the pinnacle because that's what we expect. You know what I mean? Now, circumstances outside our control is one thing. But the truth of the matter is, man, when we set out a goal, is to be the best group, best artists, best singers we possibly can be. So, and if it doesn't fall into that phrase or whatever, man, you can damn well sure that it came close to it. You know what I mean? So that's what we do, man. Whenever we do anything of greatness, man, it's always with the mindset of, we're expecting greatness. So so to answer your question, directly, yes, we expected to be platinum. Yes, it was great. But at the same time, we already expected. It's almost like when you graduate from high school, like you're expected to graduate. You know what I mean? Like, I've never understood why people would just jump up and celebrate and all. Like in your mind, you should have already anticipated graduating. And in our minds, 112 always anticipated being great, man. So when people ask us that question, man, I always have to caveat with the and basically say, listen. We're not saying this out of hubris or conceit or arrogance, but, we expect it to be great. So.
No, I love that. I love that. In one interview, Slim, you said it was 4 lead singers, because people always like to put, I don't know why everybody outside looking in always wants to like put everybody together, pit against each other. So how did you guys take 4, strong-willed, strong, talented men and create a group and keep it cohesive with keeping your egos at the door? What are things that people can learn about that?
Well, I think it was a conversation that I think me and Mike had brought it to my attention that Puff had pulled him to the side and basically told him that, look, I know what I signed. I signed 4 very equally, lead singers and, as well as writers and producers or whatever. Now, however, in the field where we had all these groups, you're trying to see how you are going to differentiate yourself away from the other groups. So I have a very distinguished voice. So, the challenge of creating records around a distinguished voice, as well as showing all of the attributes of the talents, was 112's formula. So that being said, kudos to everybody that, played their parts into making everything intricate. And I have to say that everybody definitely played a part in making the records sounding exactly the way they sounded. If you pay attention to any of 112 records, we don't have records that sound like another group.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So that being said, it definitely took a lot of skill and a lot of, just honing in on what we do the best.
No, and you can definitely tell that with the discography, especially when people were surprised that it went like platinum each time, people, you didn't shock yourselves, but you shocked everybody else. Someone said lightning doesn't strike twice, but for you guys, it really did happen. when you talk about this sound, what is something that people can understand if they're like a musician or inspiring to really hone in on their uniqueness? Because, you know, when they start, they try to, you know, you guys can do a lot of sampling. You know, people usually back in the 80s and 90s, they would sample someone so that people can get that, you know, generated type of fan base. But you guys came out the door with like Cupid and different things where it was just like, oh, wow. How do people go about doing that?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great question, man. We set out to be, you know, we set ourselves in addition to being a group with 4 lead singers at the time, you know, we set ourselves out to sound sonically different than everybody else on planet Earth. You know what I mean? And that was the goal. So we made sure that our backgrounds were just as important as our leads. We made sure that our backgrounds sound just like they were part of the track and not outside of the track. You know, we wanted to make sure that the melodies that we had was something that you've never heard before. So everything that we did was innovative. And, you know, our mission was to make sure that everything that we did, because Slim spoke on it earlier, everything that we do, bro, record-wise, don't sound like another record. Anywhere don't sound like Cupid. Only You don't sound like Peaches and Cream. Dance With Me don't sound like Player, so forth and so on. And that was the goal, man. We wanted to show the world just how freaking talented we really are, man. Like musically, you can't see us, man. You know, when it comes to those vocals, bro, you can't really see us in that. And again, that's not an arrogance or hubris or anything. That's out of hard work, and that's out of us knowing that we put in the kind of, you know, a sacrifice that it takes in order to be this kind of a group, man. Like it's indescribable, bro. Like the dedication that we had in us to make sure that we created a sound that was of substance, that was sonically something that, you know, like maybe you've heard from Take 6 and Commission before, but not together. You know what I mean? And then with the lead vocals, you never heard this man voice before. You've never heard anything like this dude's voice before. Never. I can bet money on that. And so that was the sound, man. And we knew that we had something special. You know what I'm saying? Like you can put me in the same category with a Cisco. You know what I'm saying? You can put me in the same category with a Johnny Gill or a KC because you've heard that type of voice before. You never heard nothing like this before. You know what I mean? So that's what along with those harmonies was the 112 sound, man. And that's what we strove. So it was by design. It wasn't an accident at all.
Nice, I love that, and I like that because even with entrepreneurs, they tell me we always have to be intentional with things, you know, because a lot of times we try to mimic other people, you know, and I know you guys always give that acclaim to also Puffy, making sure that you guys had that sound and that you guys were different, you know, to even spread a little light. Slim, did you know you were going to do the S, the L, the I, the M? Did you know that was going to pop up when you did that?
That we're putting in, that Slim and I are putting in or whatever, man. So, but we wanted to do that for the fan base because we wanted everybody to know that we appreciate, you know, the love and support. And we also are creatives, like you said, man. And we wanted to make sure that the 112 brand lives on forever. So that's what we put the EP out, which is in stores right now, 112 Forever. Make sure y'all go out there and get that. And you can go get the hard copy on 112forever.com. You know, if you want to go get that, man. Shameless plug, I know, man. But
no, you posted you here right now. That's what we're doing this for, and all of these facts and I have all the things that will be shared on our on our website and everything, and on YouTube and everything.
Yeah, but you know, for our fans, it's something about holding a physical product, holding a physical CD, and saying, you know, I can read the thank yous and all that stuff, man. So 112forever.com, you know, you can get that hard copy CD, man. So yeah, so.
Well, it looks like we're.
I think we're out of time.
We're out of time.
On all social platforms. Thank you, man. We appreciate you, bro.
You guys have a good one, okay?
All right, you too, brother.